Hey, second grade, it is Miss Crawl here. I hope you're all doing well, and I'm glad to see you all. So today we're going to be working on author's purpose. So author's purpose is the reason that an author writes a story. There's a reason for why they want to write it. They either want to inform us or help us learn something new. They want to entertain us, right? Make us laugh, make us happy, make us sad, make us cry, entertain us. Or they want to persuade us. So they want to convince us to do something or think the same way that they're thinking. So anytime that you've written, you've had a reason that you've done it too. So for example, maybe there was a new toy that came out and you wanted your mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, cousin, whoever to buy it for you. So maybe you wrote them a letter. And what was the point of that? You were trying to persuade them to buy you that toy, right? You wanted to convince them why they should. That was the reason or the purpose that you wrote that. Maybe something really, really funny happened, so you wrote down that story and you shared it with your friends. The point of you telling that story and writing that story was to entertain your friends, was to make them laugh. And then there might have been times maybe your cousin didn't know how to make a peanut butter jelly sandwich and you wanted to help them. So you wrote down the instructions. The point of that was to inform them or help them learn something. So there are different examples that when we've all used these before in our writing. I remember when I've tried to convince my mom to buy me a new toy, when I had to write down directions for my younger brother when he needed to learn something new, and when I wrote a story just to make my friends laugh and tell a good story. So what we're going to do is we have 3 short little paragraph short stories, and we need to decide what was the point of these paragraphs? What is the author's purpose or reason for writing these? So let me go ahead and make myself smaller in the corner. So directions, it says write entertain next to the paragraph that was written to entertain. Write persuade next to the paragraph that was written to persuade. Write inform next to the paragraph that was written to inform. So we need to decide what are each of these written for? What was the author's purpose? So I want you to follow along as I read number 1. When pandas are born, they are tiny and pink, but they grow to be big, black, and white. Pandas come from China. They eat bamboo. All right, so I want you to think, was this paragraph written to 1, entertain us, tell us a story? Was it written 2, to persuade us, to convince us, or try to get us to think a certain way? Or was it 3, written to inform or to help us learn about something or learn something new? I want you to go ahead and lift your finger up. Which one do you think? 1, entertain, 2, persuade, or 3, inform? So if you put up 3, you are correct. It wanted to inform us. It wanted to help us learn about pandas, right? Learn about pandas. And from here, we were able to learn that they are born, they are tiny and pink, but they grow up to be big and they're black and white. They come from China and they eat bamboo. We learned all of these things from there. And that was the point of that was why the author wrote it. The author's purpose was to inform us. All right. Number 2, pandas are an endangered species. Endangered means that there's few of them. They're almost going to go extinct or go away forever. If you do not want this rare and beautiful bear to disappear forever, you should donate $5 to Save the Panda Fund. If everyone donates $5, we could protect all the pandas in the world. All right, so what do you think the purpose or the reason for writing this, the author wrote this? Was it to 1, entertain us, to give us a story? Was it 2, to persuade us, to convince us to do something or think a certain way? Or was it 3, to inform us, to teach us something new that maybe we didn't know before? All right, go ahead and hold up your fingers. 1, entertain, 2, persuade, or 3, inform. So you should be holding up a 2, right? It's trying to persuade or convince us to donate to the Save the Panda Fund. They want us to donate to the Save a Panda Fund. They want to convince us or persuade us to donate. All right, this last one. Once upon a time, a little panda was born in the zoo. He was tiny and pink, and he didn't look like a panda at all. Because pandas are very rare and special, people came from all over the world to see the new baby panda. One little girl in particular traveled thousands of miles. This is her story. All right, so the point of this? What was the point of the author writing this? The author's purpose? Was it to entertain? Was it to persuade, to convince us to do something? Or was it to inform us, to help us learn something new? So I want you to go ahead. What do you think? Pull up your fingers. 1, to entertain, tell us a story. 2, to persuade us, to convince us to do something or think a certain way. Or 3, to inform us, help us learn something new. Go ahead, hold up. What do you think? So you should be holding up 1 for entertain. This is a story. They want to entertain us with a story. They don't want us to convince us to do something or persuade us to think a certain way or do something. And they don't want to inform us. They didn't really give us any information that we didn't know. The whole point wasn't to learn something new. It was to tell us a story, to entertain us. All right, second grade. So that was a quick little overview of author's purpose. So there are different reasons why an author might tell a story, right? They might want to inform us, help us learn something new. They might want to persuade us, convince us to think a certain way or do something. Or they might want to entertain us, tell us a story, have us thinking about different things. So next time you read, I want you to think about it. Why did the author write this? Now, sometimes when we're reading a story, there might be information in there and it might help us. But what we need to do is think about the overall point of it. So what was the majority of the story doing? What was the main purpose or the main reason that the author wrote it? All right, guys, great job.